Lesson 7.6, Properties. In this lesson, we're going to determine if two expressions are equivalent, and we're going to be relying on the different properties that you're going to learn today. I'm also going to show you how to generate equivalent expressions using these properties. The commutative property pretty much states that when you are adding or multiplying, the order of the numbers does not really matter. If you had, let's say, 2 times 4 and 4 times 2, it'll still give you the same product. In the associative property, they're pretty much saying that no matter which way you group an addition problem or multiplication problem, you should still get the same solution. In the identity property, they're pretty much saying that if you add 0 to any number, your answer would be that number. Like 1 plus 0 would be 1. 10 plus 0, 10. The same applies in multiplication, but with the number 1. Anything times 1 equals that number, like 7 times 1, 8 times 1, and so on. The inverse property is pretty much saying that if you add a number and its inverse, its opposite, the answer is 0. So like 1 plus negative 1 is 0. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. The same applies with multiplication, where if you multiply a number times its multiplicative inverse, you always get 1. Like for example, the number 2 times 1/2, because we flipped it, would give you 1. Or 3 times 1/3 would give you 1. I've compiled the 4 different properties right here on this particular slide. Feel free to screen capture it, write them down, take a picture of it, whatever you need. That way you can use them for further reference. Now, if you're my student, I probably gave you this as a handout to keep in your notebooks. But if you happen to have lost it, feel free to print this one out. So in this first example, we have to determine 2 things. 1, if these 2 expressions are equivalent, and 2, which property they're showing us. If you were to solve them, following order of operations of course, you would see that both expressions give you 28. So they're asking you, are they equivalent? The answer is yes. If you refer back to the properties, you can see that they used the associative property here. They pretty much just moved the parentheses in each expression. In these expressions, you'll notice that you will not get the same answer on each side. On the left, you'll end up getting 5, and on the right, you'll end up getting 11. So when they ask you, are these expressions equivalent, the answer would be no, which also means that there was no property applied to them. In this one, they're asking you if 34 plus 0 is the same as 34. The answer is yes. And if you refer back to your properties, you will see that this is the identity property. In this example, if you were to divide 20 by 5 and 5 by 20, you would see that they are not going to give you the same solution. So in this one, they are not equivalent and no property was being used. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave one in the comments below.